Thanks for joining us. Skids Tweak here. Today we're going to talk about texture mode. Texture mode actually has to be my favorite mode to show off. Texture mode can help you align your textures and get the texture where you want it on a prim. The interface for texture mode is just a little bit different from everything else. The side you touch is the side that you're going to work on. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to touch this prim here on this side, and you can see that the interface is popping up on this side. Now, as you can see here, texture mode actually has a lot of functionality. Anything you can do inside the texture tab on the build window, you can actually do in texture mode. For example, you can actually position your texture around where you want by clicking and dragging near the center area here. This is actually a great way to get the texture centered where you want it to be on the most complex prim. This includes sculpties. Or if to get your texture into the correct position, you just need a little nudge horizontally or vertically, you can use the bars on the left and the bottom. Or if you'd like to rescale your texture, you can actually use the bars on the top and on the right hand side. Again, with your mouse, all you do is click and drag. It's that simple. So what else can you do? Well, top left, you can actually turn on full bright. That's this little sun icon right here. Here you can see just dragging your mouse across the color swatch here will change the color of the interface. As soon as you release your mouse, it actually changes the color of the side. Now above the color swatch here, you can actually change the shininess, the alpha, or the glow. Now you see this little icon bottom left, this 0? I actually call this the 0 icon. Basically what this does is it sets all the values back to the default, what they would be if you just created a brand new prim. So what does that mean? That means it's actually going to change the color back to white, the repeats back to 1, offsets back to 0, remove any glow, just like it's a brand new prim. Now on the bottom right here, you actually have an undo button. This will actually undo any changes made since the interface came up. So it'll put it right back just the way it was before you brought up the interface. Now in the center circle here, these little arrows, these are rotate for rotating the texture, and the M's are for mirroring the texture. Almost finished. Two more things. On the left middle here, you got this column. This is all bump maps. Clicking any of these will apply that bump map to the side. And last but not least, top right hand side here, you got your teammate button. This will actually apply the last texture selected from your teammate since the interface came up. If you haven't selected a texture since the interface came up, it'll actually apply the next texture you select. Okay, well that covers everything on the Active Primz interface. Let's take a look at texture alignment. So how does texture alignment work with the TNT Primz? All non-active prims will actually align to the active prim. So let me show you exactly what I mean here. But before I do, we got to set it up. I'm going to take this one prim and I'm going to start copying it. And every time I do, I'm going to give it a 90-degree rotation. Then I'm going to take 4 prims and I'm going to copy them up and I'm going to give them another 90-degree rotation in a different direction. We're going to end up with several faces, all at different rotations, and I'm going to align every single one to the active prim. Okay, now to align them, I'm going to touch this bottom left prim here, and then I'm going to touch all the others to make them non-actives. All those others are going to align to that bottom left prim there. There you go, take a look at that. Every single one of those prims now, at all those different rotations, at all those different faces, they're all aligned to the active prim. Now there's one more thing I want to talk about before we go. If you actually look, it didn't actually copy over the active Primz texture to all those other prims. It just lined their existing texture to the active prim. On non-active prims, you actually got this copy button. If you click that, it'll actually copy over every attribute of the active prim, including texture, brightness, glow, shininess, all that stuff, to the non-active prim you just click copy on.
Thanks for watching. If you ever have any problems or questions about this, feel free to give me an IM. Be sure to also watch all the rest of the videos. And until next time, happy building!